listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Chief. Hobson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Castle After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Castle After Show.
Hello! Welcome back, everyone, to another AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for Castle. It's Season 6, Episode 14, Dressed to Kill. I am your host, Paige Sullivan, joined by my lovely co-host.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tiona Hobson.
Hi, guys. I'm Kate Aquillano.
And so we're just going to start off with what we've found to be one of the ugliest dresses of all time.
Like, horrible. I'm like, really?
And somebody tweeted me, because remember last week we were like, oh, I think she's trying on wedding dresses, whatever. And somebody tweeted me and said, oh, but that's so not Kate. Like, that dress doesn't look great on, like, that doesn't look like her dress.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get to that moment, but when she looks in the mirror, I want her to be like, she has that look, and I'm like, yeah, it's that ugly.
Like, it's
but
so
no,
bad.
the look means something totally different, but I'm just like, it's so bad.
I mean,
yeah, that dress was fugly, guys.
It doesn't even, it looks like a pageant dress.
Yeah.
I mean, and the poofs on the hips.
It
didn't know if it wanted to be an elegant evening gown or a ballerina tutu.
It was awful. I mean, there's
trying to combine both of them together, and it's not a good look.
And it was so Sex in the City, the way she got the dress, like, delivered to her house. I was like, I think I've seen this scene.
I mean, I combined Sex in the City and Devil Wears Prada, and you got
this
episode. They're always saying, it's funny, because they're always staying on top of, like, pop culture and things that are happening.
Mm-hmm.
And we see, like, next week's going to be a Carrie episode, and Carrie was popular recently, you know, the remake and all of that. But this episode, I felt like brought me back like 10 years.
Yeah.
It's like, woo!
It's like, wow, you guys didn't want to do this when Devil Wears Prada was like being talked about and nominated for Oscars and stuff.
When Sex and the City movie came out.
Yeah, when the movie came out, you didn't want to.
They didn't want to step on those toes until like 5 years later.
Right, but I mean, so we'll dive into it though. So we start out with two kids dumpster diving for, you know, fabric.
I love that there's like fancy fabric in the dumpster. It just happens to be. I'm like, there's like all this stuff.
When
like,
I get rid of anything vintage or chic, I definitely put it in the trash can. I don't give it to, I don't know, Goodwill or anything.
I mean, and so it was like was this like leftover fabric? Because they were in like the fashion district with all the fabric stores. So was it like just scraps, but people didn't want?
I think it was scraps. You know how, when you cut paper and
you're
like
that
when awkward
you cut the pattern
amount
for a
so
dress.
I mean, if it was scraps, they found the jackpot because there was some pretty good looking fabric in there.
And a good looking woman too.
Oh, there
was
was.
kind of scary because she was dead.
She was like super dead. Like
I
feel
screamed.
Like she was like really blue. Like,
yeah, when she popped up, I screamed. Her eyes were wide open and she was very stiff. She wasn't letting go of that scarf. She was like, I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go.
Add Titanic into this mix of copying of movies, and there you go.
I can't with the Titanic. It's too much. I just see her yelling, blowing the whistle. But so it's Ella Hayes, but it's so morbid as always. You know, they pull this dead body out, and then you hear Martha being like, "Oh, this fabric," and it's like,
really? That's how you're making the connection?
That's how we're going to transition into like real people like that we know? Like what? But so Kate is looking at dresses with Martha in these books, and she's really not connecting, like not caring very much. They're talking about venues, and they picked this place called the Cordova House.
Oh, it was Cordova?
What do you think it was?
I wrote down Cordova. Apparently I couldn't hear tonight.
I thought it was Cordova.
It's Cordova.
You guys are probably right.
Okay, so the Cordova House. And so they come together in this one thing and they like kiss and it was really, really cute. And I like that whole scene and they're going to go look at it later or whatnot. Yeah. But so then that leads into what happens. So we have Ella Hayes, 26. She works as an assistant at Modern Fashion to Matilda King, who is basically like the Anna Wintour or Devil Wears Prada of like
Miranda Priestley.
Yeah.
Miranda, that was her name.
Yeah, and so she's like this supposedly, except for she wasn't. Like she's supposed to be like this really mean
Yeah,
boss.
she didn't get that whole like evil thing down too much. Even when she was later in the episode, she's having like a call with the guy and she's like yelling at him like, you're not quite as mean as
she just came off more diva than evil.
I feel like she was more just a no-nonsense person. Yeah. You know what I mean? She knew what she wanted. She wanted it done right. I feel like that's really what it was. And the reason she's infamous is just because of her position in the fashion world.
Right.
And maybe not. It's more rumors than it is truth.
Yeah.
Because the way she treated Kate and, like, even the people around her, and even the way she kind of handled everything that happened with Ella, she was very, like, respectful of things.
She wasn't like, I don't know. She was always kind of giving them her time, which I feel like if you were truly that person, you'd be like, no, I can't do this. I have an appointment. But she always was kind of respectful.
Yeah.
The one thing she did that was kind of more Miranda Priestley was when she was walking in and she was on the phone and the new assistant was sitting there and she's like, you're the new assistant, and she goes, yeah, my name is just, I'll learn your name when you've deserved it,
and she
like
threw
her
the
coat on the table and like walked away. I was like, okay, that was good.
I liked that. But so Matilda King, she's a legend, she's infamous, whatever, but so this girl was strangled basically with a scarf or blue, we don't know what it was, a scarf, sash, whatever, and blue, like, animal fur.
Yeah, blue dyed fur.
Animal
First off, we
hairs
just talked about how they all have this blue scarf they all got.
It was the holiday party gift.
But who wants a blue furry scarf? If you're going to give me a fur scarf, give me a nice black, a nice chestnut.
I'm sure it was very expensive. Fur. You can give hers to me, and I'll wear it.
I'm sure it was, but blue? I mean, come on. But whatever. So
it's fashion.
It's fashion. Who are we to say? We're not Matilda King. But Ella's roommate is the first person we talked to, and whoever says it's the first person they talked to is wrong because it wasn't her roommate. No, so her roommate said that she had no relationships going on. She really just wanted to be a designer, but she was dedicating all of her time to her job because, when you're in modern fashion, that's like your
24/7.
step up.
Right.
And she said she'd been stressed at work, but she didn't know why. And
I don't know. I like the roommate was actually, a lot of the times when you talk to like the first person, like the family member or as a friend or roommate, they're not very sad.
This roommate was sad,
and like they're asking the questions about someone that's so close to you that just died, and they're just like answering it like nothing big has happened. The roommate was actually sad. She was crying. I thought it was like a very good scene.
Yeah, she actually looked like she had been crying for hours, and then the police showed up, and she's still fighting the tears. Right. Her eyes were still glossed over.
Yeah, she was very genuine in what she was saying.
I liked it.
But she also, which you knew was going to be part of the case, when she's like, oh, we don't have cell service in here. You'll have to use the landline. And it's all crackly and whatnot. And the second that happened, I was like, okay, what's going to go on with the phone?
But then they like cut to a different scene, and I was like, wait, what did that? I didn't necessarily, my mind didn't go straight to like it's being bugged.
Yeah,
because like Ryan is using the phone and it crackles and it just goes to the next scene. I'm like, what was that all about?
Yeah, no,
I thought someone was just listening in or something. Like the line wasn't hung up, or
I thought it was like cut or something. Like somebody just like cut the phone or something.
That's what I thought.
I don't know. So, but we leave there and Kate knows Matilda. So we go into modern fashion, and the first thing she does is she's like, oh, Kate Beckett. I'll never forget those cheekbones.
Did we know this?
No, we didn't know this.
I mean, I've watched this show from the beginning.
Yeah.
No, we didn't know this.
But like her in like her real life, she was a model before she started acting, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
was she?
I think she was.
I think she was actually.
Yeah.
I feel like almost half of the actresses in this world
True.
and actors were models first.
True.
And then like they're like, oh, but I can act.
But I'm like, where did that come from?
She's gorgeous.
Oh, obviously.
She's gorgeous. She's tall. Like she said, those cheekbones, everything about Stana in general, like real life Stana and Kate Beckett is insane.
Right.
So,
Agreed.
I mean, it's believable.
It's very believable. But the fact that she ever wanted to be a model, like,
it's kind of weird.
It's like, Kate, what?
Yeah, it just didn't make sense. I was like, wait, what? She was
because even as she was talking, and Castle even goes, you know a lot about Matilda King. Like, what are you hiding from me? And I was kind of like, she does know a lot about this lady, for being,
right.
Kate Beckett, who
like a detective.
You don't think of her, you know, with the fashion world.
For some reason, I thought it was like a dirty secret that like it was her favorite magazine or something. Yeah. Like her dirty pleasure. Right. But really, she apparently almost modeled for them. But, Matilda's very nice to her, very welcoming.
Right.
And that's when we see the whole interaction with the former assistant or talking about Ella as the former assistant. We find out she was fired because of scheduling conflicts. She kept screwing up the calendar. And her and this other assistant, Grace, were both fired together because Grace let it happen. And apparently they got into this big fight.
Yeah, so they are both fired. And then they're walking out of the building and get in this like brawl, but it's captured on a photo shoot. So then they can go to the photographer and they see the pictures with them in the background, just literally like fighting and like pulling, and one of them has a blue scarf on.
Grace.
Yeah.
So we bring Grace in, and I still didn't think she did it too soon. But Grace was saying, I was frustrated because of the scheduling conflicts, because she was spending too much time showing her designs and everything to all of the other people who were at Modern Fashion and trying to work her way up the ladder, and wasn't putting enough time into her actual job. Which
I mean,
you're an assistant. I mean, not that that's not a worthy job to anybody who is an assistant.
Yeah.
But, her desire was to be a designer.
Yeah.
And this was just a step to get there.
And she was an assistant at this magazine to use those relationships.
And we find out she wasn't really screwing anything up. So
there's that.
yeah, but so the fact that they even got into a brawl, like, blows my mind. Like, come on, ladies.
Yeah, two professionals who are now fighting each
Right.
other. A cat fight broke out, and
That's
all I
embarrassing.
could think of was, wow, that must have been, for guys, that would be awesome to see, two chicks grabbing on each other, but they're at a fashion shoot, so all the guys there are probably gay, and
They're just like, I don't
who
care.
cares?
See, I thought it was going to be one of those things where they're going to catch it on camera and be like, this is magic. And, like, put it in the magazine, like, raw emotion.
We never have photo shoots like this.
Concrete jungle fashion.
Right? I really thought that's what they were going to do, but they didn't. But we find out from Grace that she had previously been arguing with a man outside. And so we get a sketch of this guy, and then we cut to the fact that she had a bug in her apartment.
Yes.
So somebody was listening to her, somebody was trying to figure stuff out, and a fake exterminator basically put it in her house.
Yeah, they can, like, basically anything can be tracked these days. So there's, like, a serial number on the bug. So Espo and Ryan, like, run that down, and they find out a fake exterminator walked into her apartment about a month ago and put these bugs in.
So my question is, because I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, but it's about this whole bugging thing. And we find out that Matilda actually, gave the go-ahead to bug, but we also found out that it was in the, employment agreement.
I don't think people read that part of the employment.
Probably not.
I know,
because,
that's
you
not
hand me
fair.
a paper.
You hand me a
where
contract.
I sign it and move on because I'm just like, okay, I just
gotta
gave away
read
my
it.
first, third, fourth child. I don't care.
Give me this job.
But what I don't understand, because she was so adamant that, like, her lawyers say it would be okay in a court of law, but you did it without them
You put
being
it
home.
in
Like, you
without
broke
them.
into their apartments to put the bugs in. So how is that then?
Well, that's
Okay.
illegal, but she
Okay.
can say she didn't do it. She didn't do it.
But the security guard that put it in there said that she ordered him to.
Yeah, but, I mean, people can order you to do anything. I mean, she could
But
have...
she technically didn't. I get
You know what I mean? Like,
She didn't do
she
it.
had her ass covered.
Yeah.
Whereas this security guard was
But you
stupid
could
enough
still,
to do it.
Yeah, but you could still sue the whole company for.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That magazine would be over. So that was just my issue with this part of
Bugging
the
stuff.
this part of the show. I was just like, well, wait, no, that doesn't make sense because
not allowed.
Sure, they signed the employment agreement, but unless you said in the employment agreement that you
And
will
you can
allow
go
us to
into my
go into my
apartment.
home and while I'm not home,
Like,
pretending to
unbeknownst
be
to
the
me.
exterminator and then bug my line.
Yeah, not
Then
okay.
Not so
Not
much.
okay.
Not okay. And so we find out about the bug, and at the same time we find out she had black coral on her shoe, which is like...
It was
okay.
random.
It was so random.
See, I thought they said black coal for the longest time. I'm telling you, I could not hear tonight. And I was like,
Nope.
why does she have coal on her shoes? And
So funny.
yeah, black coral.
I
Black
love
coral.
when
Still don't really know
Espo
what
has
black
that
coral is.
picture. Oh, it's too early.
Too
God.
early. We'll
Yeah,
get to
it's
it.
But it was the funniest part of the episode.
Yeah, but it makes me think about something. But so we have a witness. They canvass the area. Witness says they saw that guy with a specific tie, a crimson and navy tie, which means that he's part of the Carlton Club. His name is Marcus Conway, and we only know that because Castle pulled some strings.
Castle has a friend in the club. He promised Nick's tickets and to name a character in his next book after his mom. So he got the name.
No, his Nana.
His Nana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so we find out Marcus Conway, he's a lawyer for Couture Chic magazine, or Couture Chic magazine. And Gloria Robbins, the editor-in-chief, they're there and they say, oh, we wanted to hire her. Like, we were trying to hire her.
Right.
And she was going to give us, like, we wanted dirt. It's basically just, like, trying to one-up the competition.
Right.
Yeah.
They wanted insider secrets about modern fashion.
Exactly. The new owner, Glenn Carter, had, like, plans to bring them into the digital age.
Right.
They just wanted to know how to do it. Because
Because they're one step ahead.
Yeah, because what they were doing apparently wasn't working. But they said they didn't bug her apartment, which is true. They weren't lying. They did not bug her
Nope.
apartment. And we found out that was James Kavanaugh. And while we're finding out about James Kavanaugh and being all the bugging stuff, Castle goes to the venue with his mom.
Mm-hmm.
That was cute.
That was cute. I didn't like the venue.
Really?
I didn't think it was anything special.
No,
I mean,
not.
I looked at a couple wedding venues online today with a coworker, and they were way better than that.
It was
Just
pretty.
I mean,
It
it
was
just seemed
pretty.
very
It was
like
pretty.
seemed very boring.
Well, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. They're not getting married there now.
I know, but like, yeah, it's like Castle and Beckett need a more interesting place to get married.
They need something.
They're not a normal couple. They need
something.
Yeah. I mean, Castle wants to get married in space, so that's just no comparison.
Well, because of my rules that the writers can't make anything tragic happen during the wedding, the wedding itself has to be epic. So
we'll see.
We'll see.
they can't ruin the wedding for us.
I'm just saying she might be late getting to the aisle because she's working a case.
I'll punch her.
Or
like,
right before
"Come
the
on."
wedding starts, someone's getting murdered at the venue. I don't know.
I feel like that's
She's
what's
gonna be
going
solving
to be.
crimes in that ugly dress. Maybe the dress will get
that
ruined,
dress. Let's just go back to the dress.
and then she can't get
can't.
married
so
in it.
bad.
It's
I
really
can't.
bad.
That dress is so bad. We'll get to the dress, but so bad. But so we're also finding out that it was. So this is when we find out Matilda was the one monitoring her, and it was basically to keep a leg up on the people in her company to make sure nobody was trying to sell her out, nobody was trying to take her job.
Yep, all about loyalty.
Right. And this is when we get to the dress. So Kate goes to Matilda's to talk to her about this and to figure it out. And Matilda's fighting on the phone with Glenn and like chucks something at the wall. And this is when we find out about the employee agreements and all of those things. But we also find out that she was just doing it because she was being afraid she was going to be run out of her office. We also, which I forgot, we had that Armando Antoya guy who came in. Who was like
Wait.
The IT guy.
like right before that.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is when, so we go to see Matilda, and she said she was late for drinks with Oscar de la Renta.
So Matilda didn't do it.
Oh yeah, Oscar.
She didn't do it.
I just had drinks with Oscar. It's fine.
Whatever, Oscar.
We
and
were
I.
out till 2 a.m. drinking.
But we find out that Armin, or her friend, Armando, found out that somebody was messing with the calendar on purpose.
Yeah, and she, Ella kind of had that feeling, so she went to him to ask, like, could this happen? Could someone get into the calendar outside of this building and be changing it? Because she swore she put the appointments in at the right time.
Right.
Yeah, and the good lesson here is always be nice to the IT guy.
Always.
Don't look over
they're
him.
They are
most
the
important.
unsung heroes
Most important.
of like every company out there.
Friendship.
So
True.
make friends with them, bring them a donut, some coffee, and they'll always have your back.
Or if they're healthy, some quinoa, like whatever.
Oh yeah, I don't
Some
do
green
healthy
tea.
things. Yeah, some green tea. A chai latte.
But yeah, so we find out, and Kate goes to kind of talk, or she's actually just kind of leaving the office, and she bumps into Matilda, who's crying, which was like, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
she's cute. She's got a great body for like an older woman.
Yeah.
I like the short hair. She usually has longer hair.
And her
her.
dress, she looked, all of her, obviously, she's, she's
Obviously.
a fashion queen in this episode, but she looked great. But so we talked to her, and we're talking, and then she brings up the house. She doesn't have a model for this dress. Da, 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 da.
Someone needs to try it on.
Oh.
You're
convenient.
here.
How convenient that you used to be a model-ish. So Kate tries on this dress. Why?
Why?
And the way she looks in the
It's
mirror, and she's
so
like, it's
bad.
so she thinks she's so pretty, and the woman's like, oh, you are beautiful in this dress, and all I can think is like your hips look like
It's horrible.
Saturn, like
No, literally,
rings of
she's
Saturn.
so tall.
that's what it looks like,
and
It's
she's
bad.
so skinny, and she didn't like it. Just
She has a fantastic body. Like show it off.
Do you remember her at the People's Choice? Like,
Yes.
amazing. And this dress, no, like didn't do her
And-
any
comparison.
justice.
And even like I feel like weddings, Kate is so reserved and classic. Like she's a
Classic.
classic, classy beauty. And this dress is like over the top and poofy,
Yeah.
like the hip poof. There's no front poof, just hip poof.
just hip.
it's horrible.
I think the dress is too modern for what you envision for Kate to be wearing on her wedding
Maybe
day.
the dress, like you said, will get ruined like on the wedding
Yeah.
day. That will be the
Please.
dilemma.
That would be the huge dilemma. But I will say it was exciting to see how excited she was to be in the dress.
Yes.
Before the stuff with, the emotional stuff with her
Yeah,
mom.
she looks
like
in
she
this
finally was
mirror.
like excited about it and was like, wow, yeah, this is great. It is fun. But oh crap, my mom's
But
dead.
we don't even know that at first, and it's like, ooh,
She
what's that
called it.
face
Yeah.
about? What's
Oh,
that
yeah.
face?
I
You
was
thought it was
like,
the mom?
I was like, what's happening? She's like, she probably thinks she's thinking about her
I was
mom.
I was like, that was a total mother-daughter moment. Having
it.
Matilda, tell
Yeah.
her if I had a daughter, this is the dress I'd want her to be in. And I was just like, oh, she's thinking about her mom.
I was like, this is the bump in the road. This is the bump in the road. Oh no, because Castle's
that
like,
Castle called.
yeah, and he's like, oh, something opened up, and we can book it instead of fall of 2015. Like we can book it this
the
spring.
spring.
And she's like, I don't want to rush it. Let's not do it.
That's what I thought. I thought like, oh, the writers, this is going too well. The relationship's going too well, and they need another bump in the road before the wedding. And I was like, please no. But that look scared me.
Yeah, me too. I was like, oh gosh,
what's wrong?
We find out it's not as bad as we thought it was. But so we go to the design studios of Yumi after this. We kind of find out she was.
I mean, let's just be honest. It's Lloyd. From Entourage.
Lloyd.
But we're going to call him Yumi.
Fine.
For the purpose of Castle. But so they go to Yumi's. Basically, Yumi stole her designs. Like that she was showing him. And he like started making his own collection. Right. And was going to put them in the Fab Five. And so there's this whole thing. His dresses had coral on them. There was this whole thing about, he was trying to discredit her. Like, if you get her fired from Matilda, then she's, like, discredited and whatever she says is a lie.
From the whole industry.
So it makes sense. But he's like, I didn't do that. He's like, I didn't.
But he was a little suspicious. Like, then he asked for a lawyer, and you're just like, well, I don't think he did it, but, like, why is he being so awkward about it?
Because he admitted to stealing her designs.
Yeah. You must be not a great person to steal some young designer's stuff. Like, that's pretty not nice. But so we find out really quickly. It's like, oh, no, he didn't do it. Be too easy if he did it. So we find out that he had called Modern Fashion, like, right after Ella left his place.
Right.
And Julian had nominated Yumi. And the second they said he called Modern Fashion, I was like, oh, it's Julian. Why didn't I think that? You guys called it.
We called it. We called it when we met Julian.
We're like, it's that dude.
I should have, but I didn't. I had no idea who killed her. I was like, really? Who wants her dead? Who wants her dead?
Yeah. I started thinking, it's a fashion thing. And if Matilda's concerned about her job, who would want her job? Oh, the guy who's whispering in her ear.
Basically, not her number 2.
Yeah.
And so Mr. Carter, too, Glenn Carter, the guy who owns the company,
I'm mad we never got to see him.
I know, I would have loved to.
I kind of would have liked to meet Mr.
Who would
Carter.
play Mr. Carter?
I don't know. George Clooney.
I feel like the guy, that's who I was thinking, Chris Noth.
Yeah.
But so, he just backs up the fact that Julian was trying to get her job. And so then I was really upset because Kate's like, I'll meet you at home, Castle, whatever. I have paperwork to do. And then she goes to her own place. And I was like, why?
What is going on? Because she's still having that.
I thought she was going to stay there all night.
Me too.
I was like, oh, she's going to tell him she worked all night doing paperwork and she just needs a breather.
Why does she need this breather? She loves Castle.
I know, but she has a dress and it's like a whole new thing. And she's like, oh, my dress.
Oh, my dress.
Oh, my ugly dress.
It's so ugly.
Don't wear it. # don't wear the dress, Kate.
I wonder who likes it. Like, I don't know if any Castle fans out there do. Like, if you
let
do like it,
know.
Tell us why. Like, on iTunes, let us know, comment, rate, tell your friends about our podcast. But also just let us know in general, because I would really like to know the people who do like it, why they like it. Because I just feel like it's such a strange fit for Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, okay, the dress could be pretty on the right person. But for Kate, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, the right person. But for her, I feel like
no way.
Her beauty is like, it's taken over by that dress.
The poof.
Yeah. But you know what? I feel like it's too early for that to actually be the dress. I mean, think about Sex and the City. That was supposed to be the dress, and then something happened, and she ended up going with something simpler. So if we're sticking by the Sex and the City rules here, that will not be her dress.
Castle's going to call off the wedding. They're going to have, like, 6 months apart. Beckett's going to dye her hair, like, a different color.
Right.
And then they're going to get back together.
Jennifer Hudson's going to be her new assistant.
Yeah, new assistant. Like, change her life.
It'll be fine.
Make it better.
Yeah. And then she'll finally have a pretty dress.
And then she'll get
great shoes. Yeah, no, I would really hope that it's a different dress. But so she finds this dress in the card, and she's going to be more beautiful than any model could be in this dress.
Oh, Maria. Oh, I called her Miranda. Matilda.
But so she goes to Castle, and she really just says, I was thinking about my mom and how I wish she was here and she could do this with me, and I wish she could meet you, which was really sweet. The way she said that, she's like, wish my mom could experience you. I was like,
he has an experience.
I was like,
yeah, but it kind of sounds dirty.
It does. I
wish my mom could experience you.
I don't know. I just think the wording was funny. I was like, experience? Okay. And then she's like, we should do it in the spring. Like, he's like, you think we can do it? So we're having a spring wedding, people.
Woo.
What's going to happen?
A New York spring wedding?
Gorgeous.
That's going to be
hard to find a venue. They're probably going to do it Sex and the City style. Do it in the park.
I think so.
Yeah,
no joke. I think it's going to be in the park.
I do too, actually. I think an outside wedding is, for some reason, what I pictured
That's
for the
what I
two of them.
pictured for them too. That's why I didn't like the venue that they went to.
I always pictured them outside, and I don't know why. It's not like they're like...
I feel like a big giant meadow with like a tent
and like
put
one
up.
of those arches.
Yeah, the arches and the twinkly lights.
Martha's
playing the whole thing.
Martha's probably going to officiate. I bet she'd be like, doing the ceremony. For some reason, I just see her.
Is Lainey
She would totally do that.
Lainey's the bridesmaid. Lainey and Alexis.
And
Bridesmaids.
then Espo and
Ryan.
Ryan.
So
do you think
cute.
they're going to do that? I feel like older people.
They don't do
not
that
that Kate's
stuff.
older, but like Castle.
I think that's when they leave it to like 2 people.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, I'll just have like 2 people up there with me. Or just one person.
I feel like if you're
each.
like, in your third marriage or second marriage, you shouldn't have the bridesmaids because you've already made them do that before.
But it's only for Castle.
Only for Castle. No,
It's
it's
her first.
But we don't know any of her other girlfriends. I would
I know.
actually kind of like to see a bachelorette party
That would be
with like other friends that we don't know.
I would love
maybe
for
the wedding
Alexis
dress
to be at
gets
that bachelorette
ruined
party too.
at the bachelorette party.
Maybe somebody pukes on it.
Well, did you see the Bachelorette the movie? Let's just throw that in there. Wedding dress gets ruined at the bachelorette party.
Sorry, I just thought of my prediction and it's about the wedding dress and how it will get ruined.
Well, let's get into predictions then. Let's just dive right into it and you can tell us about it.
Okay.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
What is it?
Okay, so this is what's gonna happen to the dress, guys. Castle is gonna get his hands on it on
What's
accident.
he gonna do?
He's gonna find the dress and then in typical Castle form, he's gonna like take it out and be like, oh, this is great, but then he'll like trip and spill his coffee on it or something,
fire.
and then one thing after another, he'll be trying to clean it and it makes it worse. He'll take it to the dry cleaners, they won't be able to fix it. It comes back basically shredded into pieces, and he goes up to Kate and it's just like, I love you, I'm sorry. But isn't that so something that
I
Castle
can kind
would do?
of see it.
I see red wine on the dress. They're
Red
always drinking.
wine.
They're
Yeah.
always drinking wine.
Exactly. It's gonna
That
be
could
something
happen.
like that. And it's gonna be all Castle's fault, and then
One of his
booyah.
clumsy moves.
That's how we get rid of that dress.
Ugly dress.
I'm down for that. And even if it just comes back from the dry cleaners missing the poof. Like, if
Yeah.
all we have to do is take the poof off,
Yeah,
that could
would be
still be a
pretty.
very pretty wedding dress.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bedazzled, but it could be very
Well,
It could
pretty.
be very elegant and pretty and classic.
Yeah, I like it.
What about you?
My prediction? I want some Alexis. Get Alexis involved in this wedding planning business.
Yes.
We see Martha, like she's trying to push the wedding magazines, but I want Alexis in there. I want some more bonding time between Kate and Alexis.
Mm-hmm. I would like that as well. I don't have any serious predictions other than I really hope this dress gets destroyed. I would like to see more wedding planning.
Yeah.
Really, I would just like to see more of them outside. I know we don't get to see a lot of them outside of the workplace, but with something as epic as a Castle and Beckett wedding, I think we need more of it.
Oh, I have another one.
Go for it.
I mean, we lost, what was his name? Pie. So we need to see how Alexis is doing
I was just thinking
post
that.
Pie.
True.
Is she living in the apartment alone? Is she gonna break the lease and come
Did
back home?
Pie get that grant so like he could go
Is
away?
he gone? Is he in the country?
No, he's gone. Oh, he's gone.
Like what?
So we
what's
need an
going on with
update on
her?
that.
Yeah, we do need a Pie update. We need an Alexis update
Yeah.
in general. And then we just need wedding. Wedding.
Love it.
Wedding on the brain. It is almost the spring, and that is wedding season, basically. So,
Decisions need to be made.
yes,
We need
venues.
flowers.
Everything.
Everything.
But so, guys, keep the conversation going. Again, let us know about this dress and let us know what you think is going to happen in the rest of the season because we are more than halfway through at this point. So we are
crazy.
getting close to what will be an epic, epic wedding. So tweet us at AfterBuzz TV, and you can tweet myself at Paige Sullivan.
You can tweet me at the Tiona Hobson.
And you guys can tweet me at Kate Aquillano.
Thanks for watching.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principal.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.